It's Michelle from Eden Holistic Pet Foods, and I'm here with episode 2 of our fantastic Tales from Eden, where we as a business get the opportunity to talk to you about our amazing product. And today we're going to have, it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to give you a real insight into what happens at our offices and the people that work within Eden. And I believe that the most important job of the people that work at Eden is customer care. Having customers at the heart of everything we do is such an important thing. I do believe it is the responsibility of everybody in Eden to provide fantastic customer care. As a business, a lot of the growth of Eden came from word of mouth. So our customers who have been feeding Eden for quite a while are actually passionate about our product. But we need to make sure as a business that we've always got somebody who can help, support, give advice, give reassurance, and just build relationships with those people that are most important to us. And that is our customers. So we're very privileged and honoured to have been able to bring our customer team out of their role today to have the opportunity to talk to you. Firstly, Rhianna.
Hello everyone. So my name is Rhianna, and I've not been with Eden for very long. I'm very new to the business, and I come originally from a customer care background with my previous job roles, but I also have a bachelor's honours degree in zoo management, so that background knowledge of animals is there, and I wanted to use my degree to kind of move forward with that and then help with my jobs in the future.
So what was it about coming to work for Eden that appealed to you?
So really it was about using my degree and what I'd learned from there with regards to nutrition and training, and bringing that forward to really giving a personal experience with customer service. So we do get quite individualised concerns or queries with our customers, and with that I wanted to provide my knowledge and experience to kind of help them further and more detailed so that they get the best standard of care for their pet.
And was it the same for you, Ellen? What's it like working in the customer care team at Eden?
So unlike Rhianna, I didn't actually come from a background of like zoology or anything to do with animal nutrition, but I have come from a customer care background. So talking to customers is just something I'm really passionate about, and obviously with all the training.
Tell me a little bit about the training actually. It was good that you mentioned that. What was the training like at Eden? How have you become so experienced, and how have you gained your knowledge about the food we sell and animal nutrition?
So my manager just came from a customer care role herself. So she had all the training and knowledge from when she was working on customer services, and she was a really, really big help to both myself and Rhianna. And they put a lot of time, a lot of effort into, training us on the nutritional side, just as well as, the basic customer care side. The staff is invested a lot in at Eden, which is something that you don't get in many companies. And I feel like everyone individually has their own pets, and they have their own, experiences that they share with one another. So I could be talking to a customer about something, and just because necessarily I haven't gone through that myself, or the different queries that they come up with, I know that there's someone in the office that has. So everyone is right there at your fingertips to ask for any advice or ask for a bit of support with, and they're very quick and eager to help with whatever you ask them. Yeah.
And I think as well, because we've got the open office at Eden, so to help people understand what it's like, we're all in one room, aren't we? So we've got the trade team, we've got marketing, we've got the operations team, we've got the IT team, we've got the most important and exceptional team, which is our customer care team. What I think is really good for the customers to know as well is most of those people that work in other departments now started on customer care. Yeah. So you mentioned Tara, who now heads up and is the supervisor of the customer care team. Also Hannah, who used to be in customer care, is now working on stock and logistics and supporting the production of our food. And we've always felt that working in customer care is the foundation for our employees, because by talking to our customers every single day and all the queries they come with and all the concerns they come with, just build your knowledge. So as much as we provide you with training to support you to grow within the business and to grow your knowledge, we learn so much off you too.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you're talking to our customers every single day, and I mean I couldn't even imagine the many millions of different questions that you get. Does it feel to you that you do that really important role? Is that how it feels to you on a daily basis when you're at Eden?
Yeah, it feels quite satisfying and very proud, because you know that you'll be able to help people. Like when people are really grateful, they say, oh, thank you, you've really made my day, and it just makes you feel so uplifted, like I've managed to help someone today with their pet, and it feels really amazing to do.
And explain, I don't know either of you, how is it for the customers? What kind of queries do we get? What does customer care mainly consist of? If you had to say what are the 3 or 4 things that you mostly get asked about, what would they be?
In a nutshell, I'd say things like feeding amounts and recommendations of which kibbles they should feed their pets because of their specific needs. But like saying that, so every query is so different because everyone's dog is so different, and we do recognise that at Eden. So every response that myself and Rhianna give is completely different, and we have to tailor it to each and individual customer, because not every dog is the same, and we do like to promote this and get this out there that there is going to be differences, but as a whole I'd say probably feeding amounts, recommendations of kibble, and then just different things like, so we offer joint support and we offer different treats, so just telling them the nutritionist side and just getting that awareness out there, because I don't feel like nutrition is something that's always been around. I feel like it's only slowly coming in, and people are seeing how important it is what you do feed your pet. I know I had no idea about the importance of what I was feeding my pet until joining the company, because I used to feed a different brand, and now learning with Eden I realise how important it is, the stuff that goes into the food, and how much providing them with that balanced and healthy diet is so important for not only their performance but physical features like shiny coat, dental health, everything. So it is really important.
Yeah. And we say we strive to help pets thrive, and I believe we're providing information and support for 2 different types of people. I guess we've got humans, so that's the pet parents, the pet guardians, the people that make the decision to purchase Eden's food, but also we're looking after the pet, and although that pet can't make the decision for themselves around choosing which food their owner's going to buy, it's really important to us, isn't it, that at the end of the day we provide the advice and support and information to help our customers make really informed decisions. When somebody's ringing you and considering swapping food, what kind of things are they asking, and what advice do we normally provide, or what questions do we ask to help them make the right decisions?
Well, so if it's a new customer, we usually ask them how much they're being fed already, what kind of breed of dog they've got, what age they are. We do advise a 10 to 14 day transition period anyway if you are moving to Eden for the first time, just so it can get the dog's digestive system used to the nutritional value, the change in that. But we do get customers as well who are in Eden and say they'll feed country cuisine and then go, oh, I want to feed fish cuisine. So we say, yeah, you can do that. But there is an optional transition period you can do with that as well. But it's always nice for people to ask us just in case, just for that peace of mind.
And it's interesting because obviously I sit in the office quite close to both of you, and I don't just hear you referring to the customer's name, I hear you talking about the pets as well. Yeah. What kind of relationship do you have with our customers? What's it like on the phone when you have a conversation with our customer care team?
Well, we are really, really passionate about providing a good service, and we do try and make everything as personal as we can because like I mentioned previously, so each and every dog is different, and obviously our customers' satisfaction and their pet's health and well-being is the most important thing to us. That's why we do what we do, because we care, and just building the relationships with the customers is just something that comes so naturally because we're so passionate about how their dogs are doing and them being satisfied with the service and the product itself. That it's just really good.
And we don't mind people at all, do we? I mean, lots of people just keep us updated about their dog's health, don't they?
Yeah.
So you might have spoken to them about something and then they just keep in touch with us.
They do, it's very nice. So we do get a few regular customers because some customers prefer to order by the phone rather than our website. So we'll get an email saying, oh, hi, can we order again? And sometimes they'll request a specific person, or sometimes like we've all spoken to a lot of the regulars and they get to know you by name and they go, oh, hello, how are you? And how's your life? They ask us about our life rather than theirs as well. So it's nice, you do get that kind of personal relationship with them and you learn that you want what's best for them and for their pets.
But even with our new customers though, I do think with our new customers, you know, we try and welcome them in as a family because that's how we see every single one of our customers as part of being an Eden family. And you know, we're just so very transparent with our customers in the terms of like any questions that they have, any queries, any worries or doubts. We'll, you know, straight away go and reassure them of the brand, and just give them nutritional advice. It's not about putting it down the necks, you know, buy Eden. It's not about that at all. It's just about raising awareness and just showing them how important it is about feeding your dog the correct things. And
I think that sort of goes back to where the company started. You know, Paul produced a food to support the health of his own chihuahuas at the time, and that information spread by word of mouth. So it wasn't a sales technique, it was just generally talking to people about, you know, we've created this great food, here's the benefits. Once we've given you the information, it's up to you to decide if that is right for your pet, because as a business there is a food for everyone, and it might not always be Eden, but the very best thing we can do, I believe, is get just brilliant support and advice, very transparent, just as you say. So making sure that we're not hiding anything from anybody. Yeah. We're really, really clear about what's included in our food, you know, what the nutritional composition is. You said a transitional period. Yeah. So tell people why we talk about the transitional period.
So what happens when you don't transition a dog is... I mean, the best way I could describe it is with people, really. It's like if I started eating salads all day and then my body was so used to eating salads and then I had a McDonald's, my body would be like, whoa, hold on. So with dogs, it's kind of the same thing where you're feeding other brands that may be full of grains and fillers that they're not used to. They're used to having quite a low nutritional value because the purpose of grains is to just fill the dog up and not actually provide that nutritional benefit. But when you move to a food like Eden that doesn't have any grains in, it supplements that with a lot of protein. The massive change, if that's not slowly, gradually added in, then the digestive system will not get used to it.
And what could happen? Because I know a lot of customers will phone and I'll hear the conversations. And we've got to talk about it because dogs eat food. And then, as a consequence of that, we've got what I call stools, but I guess we can just say poop. So we do get quite a lot of customer care questions about poop, don't we?
We do, yeah. We're always talking about poop in the office.
and did that surprise you when you started?
It did, actually. It really did. But obviously from working here and from advising customers, I've realised how important it actually is monitoring your dog's poop.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's an indication of the fact that there's no wrong questions. If people should never be nervous about phoning us, should they?
No, definitely not. No.
You know, there's no questions, or there's nothing that we wouldn't try and support people with, because I'm sure you've got examples of people don't always phone up and ask specifically about the food, do they?
No, not always. A lot of it is, you know, changes in behaviour, not necessarily just food, but changes in behaviour, and just asking us, like, you know, is there a food I can make my dog more relaxed, more calm? Or like, if, you know, they're becoming more senior, like what I can move them on to. So it's not necessarily anything that they've had wrong with the previous food, but what they can do better for their dog and for their dog's health. And, you know, prolonging their life so that, you know, they stay happy, the owner stays happy.
Well, yeah, along with that, we also get questions about enrichment and how presenting the food itself, how they can help with that.
Yeah.
Because for those who are not aware, enrichment is a good part of your animal's lifestyle, because it keeps like the mind active, it keeps them from being bored or stressed, things like that. So the way that food is presented is just as important as the food itself, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could they have licky mats, you know, nowadays for dogs, where it's got all of the, don't know what you call them, the little things poking out of the bowl, and then the dogs lick through
slow
that.
feeders.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've got things like that. You can even just put your food in a blanket and roll it up and tie it in a knot, and then just watch them try and go in. You could have a box and paper, things like that, you know. And I just think that's so important, because it proves that you really want the best for your animal.
So people ask us about, so some of the things we've described is feeding amounts, certain issues or support they need with senior pets, or different breeds of dogs, or dogs that might need to be fed in a different way to keep them mentally stimulated through the day. Yeah. I mean, it's a real wide set of questions that you're faced with. I think something you mentioned as well is you do talk to our customers. So I know sometimes people will say you don't seem to have a phone line anymore, that most of your customer care is via live chat.
Yes.
But to be really clear, live chat is you guys, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You know, this is you personally answering those queries that come through. And we also speak to people over the phone, don't we? So talk a little bit about how customer care operates on a day-to-day basis.
I think what people get confused with our live chat is, obviously at first they are talking to a bot, so-called ED, but actually they are still talking to us, because myself and Rhianna are the ones who have helped create ED to be what it is today. So even though they are connected to the bot, that's all come from things that we've entered and things that we're advising, not just pulled from Google, if that makes sense. But I know Rhianna's really passionate about, obviously, the chatbot, so if you wanted to expand.
It was quite a good thing to learn about, really, because you come into customer care and you just think it's about just the customer facing parts of it. You don't really think about the background of it. And with learning how to do the chatbot, there's so many ways it can go. And it's just so nice to put that personal touch while you can't be in the office, because we do get quite a few queries that come outside of our office hours. And then you come in the morning and then it's like these are answered by the chatbot. And then it's so fulfilling that we've been able to add this in, and then people are still getting help while we are personally not in the office. And it's amazing. Yeah,
I totally agree. I mean, that was one of the things that the customer care given, we get such fantastic Trustpilot reviews, we get such real compliments from our customers, but I was really aware that it wasn't 24/7 care, and sometimes for people they do want an answer in the moment. They can't always get in touch with us in that 9 to 5 period. So the chatbot wasn't about actually not having people to directly talk to our customers. It was about broadening the amount of time we could be there for people. And I think it's really future facing as well. I'm really excited, because I'd love to think at some point that a customer could be in a pet store and they could see a bag of Eden on the shelf and think, oh, I need to know a bit more about that, or is that suitable for my dog? And they could perhaps scan a code with their phone, and it'll take them, even on days we're not around, to the bot. And the bot can give them information, nutritional information, how to transition, how to order the food. So we're constantly looking at ways to offer help and advice in a broader way for our customers. And the fact that you proactively programmed Edie, our bot, is fantastic, because it's your voices coming through our extended sort of customer care experience.
Well, to be honest, that is a work in progress. Some of it's done, some, you know. So what is it that we've got completed? I think we've got
deliveries.
We've got advice on deliveries, tracking your delivery,
adding notes to delivery. So if you want your parcel left like in the garden or at the side of your house,
very important.
Because then that ends up with, we see it and then we personally call DHL to add that on. which is, I think is quite good. We've got requesting a callback. So you said about how we don't have inbound phone lines anymore. We do have that purpose on the chatbot where we can people can request a callback, put their phone number in, and then we will see it and then go, oh, okay, we need to ring this person today, which is very good for our workload.
Yeah, because obviously we do appreciate there is some people, like if my nan was to be using the site, she might be a bit confused. She's still got a flip phone, so she's not really great with the internet, and she might want a call. It's a bit more personal, isn't it? So we're more than happy to call anyone back if that's their preferred way of communication. It's just obviously we did take the phone lines out just to manage the workload better, because we were getting just so many emails in a day, and like we've touched on before, we've got such good relationships with our customers. We were finding a lot of people wanted to call for a chat to let us know how the dog's getting on, which is amazing. It is brilliant, but we have got a lot of workload to get through as well, and just trying to find the time for each and every one of our customers, because obviously they're all as important as one another. We decided to close the phone lines and focus more on live chat and more on emails. But yeah, like I said, we always call someone back if that's what they want.
The future for the chatbot is promising though, because we want to add as much in there as we can so that it's as detailed as possible. So at some point we want to add the calculator in there so someone can type in how much the dog weighs, and then the life stage, things like that, and then get an immediate response.
Can't wait, it's so exciting. It is exciting for me because we employ exceptional people, because we want you to have contact with our customers. We want people to be able to have that personal one-to-one relationship with our team, and I hear that all the time over the phone. I mean, I hear you saying, oh, how's Rex? How's he getting on? Has he had his operation on his teeth done? Are you now feeding him the semi-moist? Because that is really going to help him with his recovery. And I think that's beautiful to hear. So I guess you've got loads of examples of when you've delivered some brilliant customer service, or sometimes some people are dissatisfied with us when they ring. What are the things that have really meant something to you? Which customer care experiences have really resonated with you?
So I had a lady come on live chat, and she wasn't very happy. She requested a phone call and obviously gave her a ring back, and she explained to me that her dog was experiencing runny stools off feeding our kibble. So then obviously dug a little bit more into the query and realised that it was actually due to overfeeding. But when I was trying to explain this to her, obviously it's quite confusing that they're losing weight and experiencing these runny poos because of overfeeding, because it almost feels a bit like counterproductive, doesn't it? So after explaining, so I'll explain to you guys. So overfeeding can sometimes cause weight loss and runny stools, and this is because dogs can only intake so many nutrients. So if you're feeding them in excess of nutrients, their body is going to be flushing all these nutrients out in the form of loose stools, which can then sometimes lead to weight loss. Even though you are overfeeding them, it can lead to weight loss because their body is just getting rid of as much as they can. And then in result of that, they will begin to lose weight. So obviously, after explaining this to the customer, we got her on board, we did a bit of alterations with the feeding amounts of the kibble, and then she came back to me and she was like, thank you so much, you've really helped. People get really stressed and really concerned when it comes to the health and well-being of the dogs, just like everyone else would. I know I would if it was my little Shih Tzus that I've got at home. But yet she was so grateful, and just received some really positive feedback, and she was actually my first Trustpilot review. Got a mention on my Trustpilot review, so that one's definitely stuck with me, and we've got a really good relationship now. She does, she requests a call back to place her orders with us because she likes to have that one-on-one conversation. But yeah, it was really great, and just being able to know that I've not only, reassured her and put her out of her stress, her dog's also reaping the benefits from it as well, and they're also feeling a lot better in themselves, and they're able to be well, a dog really. They're able to, you know, be their crazy selves.
Yeah. And I think it's only right, isn't it, to expect that when people are dissatisfied, they're going to give us a call. And it is our responsibility, isn't it, to help and support that.
Definitely.
And, you know, we treat all customers the same, whether you're ringing with thanks or you're ringing because you're dissatisfied or you're ringing for advice. Everybody's going to get that same level of customer care. And like you say, it's so fulfilling when actually somebody's rung you and they're really unhappy, or their dog's been poorly, or they haven't taken to the food, and you can support them through a process which ends up with a fantastic result. So do you want to share some of your experiences on the phone lines with us?
Yeah, so we've had a few very individual calls. This one woman, she was like, I've been to the vets, I don't know what to do anymore. So this dog had, it's called oxalate stones, basically kidney stones, layman's terms. And they had a specialised diet, and the vet had recommended them another brand of food. And the owner was thinking that that wasn't really what was best for them. It was quite a low nutritional value, and they wondered if we could do something or recommend anything that would be similar. After going away and doing my own research on it, I found out the diet needed to be, I don't remember it right now, but say for example low carbohydrates or low protein, high carbohydrates. And after looking at all the composition of our foods, I was able to recommend. But I actually ended up making a chart with the brand that she said and our brand, and I ranked them in order in terms of fat and protein, carbohydrate level, things like that. And so that she could easily compare and make an informed decision herself. Because I was saying, yes, this will be suitable, and if you wanted to feed another type of kibble, maybe the other brand might suit it, you could mix them together. So it's that transparency, but it felt so fulfilling being able to go away and research that, and then being able to bring back a find. I like researching a lot.
I think it's interesting as well, isn't it? Because I don't think, whilst you're there on live chat or you're on the phones, our customer care is wider than that as well. So I don't know if you've got experiences to share if people have an issue with our food, for example, because we have traceability of our food. So our manufacturers, basically where our meat is picked up from, all the way through the transport system, all the way to where the food is produced, and then through into the packaging and then making its way to us. All of our food is batched, isn't it? So have you got examples of where a customer has had an issue with a particular bag of food and the support we get from manufacturers to answer some of those queries?
We do get people that sometimes will come to us, and you know, especially people that have been with us for a long time, and say that, you know, this food looks a little bit different or maybe smells a little bit different to what they've previously ordered. I mean, straight away we advise that obviously because we do use natural ingredients, it is hard to get uniformity. So obviously we do get variances in size of kibble, shape of kibble, even like the colour and texture sometimes, because it is all the natural ingredients and not the additives and bulk fillers. But for peace of mind, we always say to our customers, if you're not happy with the kibble, we're more than happy to send it to our manufacturers for testing. We work very, very closely with our manufacturers. So, you know, if they're happy to go ahead with testing, we'll be straight on to Trudy. And, you know, they're very good. They'll, you know, send the kibble off, and you know, we wouldn't send anything out to customers that we didn't believe was in specification. And it goes through just I can't even comprehend how much these machines are and how efficient they are. They're such strict, you know, testing procedures that it goes through before it even leaves the door, before it even gets packaged. If it's not within specification, you know, it doesn't go out. It's as simple as that. But if we ever do have them issues where it does slip through, we're more than happy to send it off for testing and then give that customer the reassurance and peace of mind that it is within specification. And in the very rare cases that it isn't, which I've not had since I've been here yet, offer a replacement straight away, because we don't want a customer paying for, what they think's a high quality kibble and then, not being satisfied with that.
Yeah. And I think it is good for our customers to know that, like I say, it's not just the people in the office, although there's a huge wealth of experience right from the MD through to our teams in each of the departments. We have nutritionists that work with our manufacturers that we can talk to. We have really close collaborations with some other food brands as well, and we tap into their knowledge and understanding. Like you say, you're always willing to do some research. We have vets that come in and look at our food, particularly before it's exported, so they're always able to give us some help and advice. And I think the important thing with customer care, and I think you said it, is we offer that help, advice and support. We can make recommendations, but ultimately it's about the customer personally being able to make that informed decision, because it's the customer that needs to know that they feel like they've chosen the very best product for their pets. Have you had any similar conversations with customers around the product itself?
So I will compare to my own experiences now. So the Feline Feast Range we've just launched, because before that we had the original cuisine and the country cuisine, and with that and taking the country cuisine away to focus more on specific groups of cats for the Feline Feast. I tried the Feline Feast firsthand, so I know all the benefits that it can give. So it was nice to try and find a kibble that all my cats would eat, because I've got 4, so it's kind of difficult sometimes. We get customers that say, oh, well, I've only ever fed the original or the country, why should I feed the Feline Feast, or can I feed the Feline Feast? And I'm always happy to recommend specific benefits for each flavour for their specific cat, because they all have suitabilities for. There's one for indoors, there's one for outdoors, there's one for fussy eaters, things like that. And learning about everyone's cats and pets is always nice as well. To send pictures in.
I think as well, it's been lovely as well. We have been primarily dog food previously, but obviously now we're looking to support cat owners in a wider way, so we've added some new ranges in. And an interesting thing you said is looking at the photographs of our pets, etc. In general, what's it like to be in the office at Eden? What does it feel like? What goes on a daily basis at Eden? Just explain to our customers when they're talking to you on the phone or you're dealing with live chat. What's it like in the office?
It is great. It is a really good atmosphere. I think that, like you said at the beginning, you have hired a really, really good bunch of hardworking people. Everyone's so lovely. Everyone's so happy to help you. I mean, we've all got our own individual pets, so sometimes we get visits from little office pets, which obviously makes the atmosphere 10 times better. It's a really good environment to work in. Obviously, like we said before, everyone's at your fingertips. So if you're ever struggling, if we get a query about a trade order, we've got trade right across from us that we can ask them or we can transfer to them. Like, it's all at our fingertips really. So it's really good that we can all work together to then keep this core of remaining a family-run small business. Well, not small, because we are getting so big, but in our core, just remaining and retaining that care for all of our customers, because without them we wouldn't be where we are today. So it is lovely.
It is nice to work with other parts of the business as well and learn about all those different departments, because I know you've done some things outside of customer service as well, but me personally, I've worked with marketing, I've done the blogs, I'm going to start doing them, and I think it's nice to have both of that at the same time, so you can learn about each individual part of the business and how you bring that together and how that supports the customers.
Yeah, and I think that's really good for our customers to know that we're an open office, we're all working together. I know people use the word family and people think, is it really like being, but it is like that. It is that atmosphere where everyone is helping and supporting, and our main mission is to provide beautiful, nutritious food for pets, so pets can live the best lives. And like you say, we experience that because those pets are coming into the office. I mean, not only do we see our pets in the office, just tell people we do actually have customers come to the office as well, don't we, to collect their food orders?
Oh yeah, we do. So we do have a little shop in our headquarters where people can come in and buy a kibble directly from us. And they'll bring their dogs along as well. And oh my gosh, it's amazing the amount of times we've all like quickly nipped away from our desk to see like 3 little dachshunds running round or a big lab running round in the headquarters. Oh, it is amazing. Yeah, and it is just like building them relationships with the people that come in, and you know, just getting to see, you know, it's I just can't even put it into words. It's amazing.
Oh.
So I was really relieved when you joined the business, Rhianna, and it just came at the right moment because we've always been primarily dogs, and we've really been looking recently to produce some food which really homes in on the requirements of cat owners and their pets. And you joined us, a cat owner already. So tell us a bit about your experience with us launching the new food, what it's all about and what it means for our customers.
Well, in terms of learning about it, the training that went into it, so we all had a big training session about the food and its contents, its benefits, things like that. It was so refreshing to know how much detail has actually gone into it, because the recipes itself for the new Feline Feast Range, we have 3 of them, and they've been researched for 4 years. And 4 years has paid off because it really does work. I got to try it luckily with my own cats. And
what are your cats called?
I've got 4. So I've got I've got Scruffy, Spotty, Uno and Leo.
Fantastic.
And they're all very characteristic. They have their own personalities, so they have their different likes and dislikes. And before, I was feeding the original cuisine and they were very passionate about eating. They really enjoyed their food, but as soon as I gave them the turkey and chicken, it was like I've never seen them eat before. They'd absolutely devoured it and inhaled it, and they absolutely loved it. So you could tell that research has really paid off. I know that within the food itself that we use beet pulp.
Yes.
And sweet potato, because that really helps with the palatability, and cats can be quite fussy. We also have the added minerals in there. We've got L-carnitine in the whitefish and herring caviar flavour, so that helps with weight management. There's a reduction in fats for that, and that's more for indoor cats. But then for my cats are all outdoors, they all run around everywhere. So the turkey and chicken was really helpful for that, and it has that taurine in. And it has a lot of beneficial ingredients for like their immune system for when they go out and venture out doing whatever they do in the day. I don't really see them anymore.
Like those photographs of them pouncing around in the snow the other day.
Oh yeah, Leo, he loved doing that. He got his little fangs out. That was so funny. He just saw the snow and was like, whoa, it's his second snow day, bless him.
Yeah. And having 4 cats, you'll know how different
Yeah.
they all are and how they've all got different requirements. And how does that feline feast help with the different requirements cats have got?
Well, I feel like it's good because you can tailor it. Because when you have a lot of cats, as I do, you'll know how different they are. Like they come out of their shells. So you have some cats that prefer wet food, or some that will prefer staying indoors all day, some that don't want to go around as much. And the fact that there's 3 flavours and each flavour has its specific characteristics that are suited for cats. So you have, while they all support urinary tract health and the hairball care, things like that, you have one specifically for kittens, for example, so the turkey and chicken because of the taurine and heart health. Then you've got specifically for joint support and specifically for weight management. Like, it's so nice to have it covered because, like you said, we are primarily a dog business, but the fact that now that cat owners have that choice to be like, oh, this is definitely my cat, I can have a food that supports
and that was really important to us because there are as many cat owners out there and as many cats as pets as there are dogs, and so it was, you know, we recognise as a business that there are sometimes gaps. And I think what's really nice, because we've got great relationships with our customers who ring through to the customer care line, because we go out and do shows and events, because we talk to our traders that sell the food in their pet stores, we're constantly getting feedback, aren't we? And we hear from you quite often. We've got 50 frequently asked questions. So how as a business do we respond to that and always look to improve our food, to improve the variety of food that we sell. And one of the main points of feedback was about having a range of cat food. And it sounds from you as if we might have done a really good job of releasing some food that's really suitable for cat owners and their pets.
Well, yeah, we've had the feedback from the customers themselves, because before, it's like they were used to just the original in the country, and then when you've given them those recommendations, so I had a customer the other day, they say like, oh, I'm only used to the country, my cat's allergic to chicken, what can I feed them? And then we recommend them the Feline Feast, and then they go away and try it, and they come back and they say, wow, this has changed my cat, it's amazing.
And that's so lovely. So people will actually come back to you, will they, and tell you what's happened?
Yeah, definitely. We get a lot of positive feedback,
yes,
which is good. And even with negative feedback, we welcome all feedback, because, you know, we always want to improve and work on, you know, our service, our product. So any feedback that we get from any customers is relayed onto, you know, the relevant parties, so that we can just keep improving as a business and, you know, keep that high standard that, you know, we really strive to provide our customers.
Okay. Some people don't like to talk about it, but I know one of the frequently asked questions can be, and we hear it at shows, not just on the customer care line, is about the price of our product. We are a premium brand, and we really are passionate about putting the very best ingredients, as much fresh meat as we can, novel proteins, so we might choose venison over chicken, or so our recipes are really carefully crafted. And that does mean that when you look at the price of an individual bag and you compare it to some other brands, it can seem expensive. How do our customers respond to that? What type of queries do you get around price?
So that is a good point. You know, we do get a lot of people worried about the price, because, like you say, we are a premium brand, so people will be paying a little bit more for our food, but in return of that, they're paying for a better quality food as well. So you can go out and buy a bag of dog food for £20 if you want to at your local pet shop, but the stuff that goes into that food isn't going to be a higher quality as, you know, what you will buy with Eden. And I think also you do get a better value for money purchasing from Eden, because with it being so nutritionally packed and, you know, such a high meat content, you can then feed less. So a lot of, you know, competitors or different brands, they'll put a lot of bulk fillers into their food, and the purpose of a bulk filler is to make your dog feel full, but that it's very short-term effects, whereas our food, when you're feeding them all this goodness and nutrition, they have very long-term effects, so, you know, you can actually feed less. So whereas you'd be running out every other week and getting a new bag of kibble, you know, from a different brand, our food tends to last a little bit longer, because you can feed in them smaller quantities.
And are you able to, obviously, therefore, we give advice, don't we, about cost per day and how long to expect a bag of kibble to last. So I think that helps people budget their spend. So I recognise that the initial outlay can seem expensive. I call it reassuringly expensive, because I think to know that something is packed full of goodness, packed full of fresh meat, packed full of the very best ingredients we can get our hands on, you would expect that to be of a certain price. So I call it reassuringly expensive. But what I really like about the advice that you two give is you can say, okay, the outlay for that bag is, say, £80, but actually you only need to feed so much per day for your size of dog and the activity level of your dog. So cost per day is £1.94, and actually that bag of food can last you for X number of days. And I think that really helps, especially with the cost of living crisis we've got at the moment and people concerned about outlay. I believe you give great advice that helps people budget and helps people make really good decisions around the food they buy. Do you agree with that?
I do, yeah. Well, we had that price freeze as well at some point, which was a very good campaign that happened. And I think that really helps with the cost of living crisis, because when you can see right there how much it is per day, because £2 a day, I'm eating more than that myself in a day. So it's nice to think, well, if this will last me 2 months. And with storing our kibble as well, it stores and it keeps for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So we do get quite a few people that say, oh, is it okay once it's been opened? and how do I store it, things like that. And it lasts for about a year, 18 months after production, so it will last that long time for.
I think it's interesting you talk about, obviously we do the dry food and we do the wet food, and you talked about supplements before, and I think one lovely thing that we can do in terms of reassuring our customers, all of our different ranges, so our 80-20 range, our semi-moist, obviously the new Feline Feast, the wet food we do also do a food that is produced specifically for working dogs. Actually, you can be reassured that if you feed any of those to your dog, they're getting the nutrition and the ingredients that they need to be a happy, healthy dog, but you are there to help guide them to make some specific decisions around what might be best suited to their dog. So I know, for example, with my dog now, she's getting a bit old, she's 16, Chloe, her teeth are not what they used to be. She'll have the semi-moist.
Yeah.
Because I like her to have a kibble, but that's just a bit more soft and squidgy. So I think it's reassuring to know with Eden, no matter which food you choose, you're getting a fabulous food, and you are both there to help people make those really good decisions that cater specifically for the pet. Because like you said before, every time you talk to somebody, it's a one-to-one. It's a personal call that you tailor to that customer and their pet. So I thank you for that. Eden thanks you for all the help and support you give to our pet owners, and I know our customers appreciate it because I see the Trustpilot reviews and I hear the compliments that are given you. So we'll hopefully keep hold of you for a long time. You'll progress through the company, and then we'll be able to bring in some new people who can then get their foundations on customer care. So thank you both of you for everything you do for our customers.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, honestly.
Fantastic. So once again, thanks to our brilliant customer care team and everyone who goes to make Eden such a special place to work. Thank you to everybody who's listened. You can hear our podcasts on Spotify, you can watch us on YouTube. If you want to come and meet us, we do loads of shows and events around the country. If you go online, have a look on our website, we'll give you all that information. We're on Instagram, we're also on Facebook, and if you're interested in our business overall, you can also catch us as a business and our individual team members on LinkedIn. So we can't wait to talk to you all again soon, pass on some more of that information and education to help everybody make great decisions for their pets. Speak to you soon.